you don't really see often, Doug. No bonus round here from G2, opting to just go straight away.
One down. Spike down B. Last player
replay
standing.
one more time. There's Joby.
Nice!
Managed to save what could have been a rough start to things, all things considered. Back into the action. You see no ults really online anytime soon. You mentioned the full buy on both sides. Light armor for everyone on the side of G2 here. And this is a big, I mean, yeah, they had to invest because they lost so many, but they've got Bulldogs, they've got Vandals. Really the whole way.
Very dangerous round. Is EG aware? That is the question. Are they aware of the full buy? Or are they thinking there's just one Vandal on the board for G2?
Early Hawn out from Derek.
Good spam.
Yeah, the first piece of resistance.
Here comes the info.
Dog catching on one. The fadeaway onto Trend as he has utility caught out and leaves there to punish. They've established control on elbow. EG now scrambling to try to get back towards A.
They just cut noise, Doug. Getting a raise rocket. This could be huge into this round. Re-aggro coming here from EG onto this elbow area.
I mean, a bonus here would be a dream start for G2.
Oh, but this is huge here, Doug.
Showstopper invested. Clearing every little angle he can. No resistance will be found. And the spike is still not out.
30 seconds
It's still
left.
just now making its way over to the site. You wonder if G2 are going to want to take this fight into spawn. They're crept real far up. The dart on the other side of the smoke as it dissipates. The swing comes out from Jogamo. Valence there to greet him. Leaf joining in on it as he gets 3 on the round. That should be it unless Apoth can pull off a miracle. Ned and Leaf both weak. So it's not out of the realms of possible, but Ned saves it. G2 with a massive 3-round lead early on.
Very, very doable, but nevertheless, G2 looking great. They understood from that re-clear utility onto elbow, that breach flash, that they were going to leave the site. And Leaf looking really good at the start of this game so far.
And, you know, there was a lot of conversation last time we saw this team play about, you know, does Leaf feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Is he going to be slotting into this roster well? Because it wasn't the Leaf that we expected, or at least have grown to know. This feels much more like the Leaf we saw last year.
And you know what is so dangerous about this G2 roster is I feel like they didn't have Trent online. They didn't have Leaf online for their last matchup against Crew. And they still won, beating a Kesnet who was going absolutely Super Saiyan mode on them. So if these guys play even half of how they normally play, this is going to be a very hard game and an uphill battle for EG.
That hill's already 3 rounds high with the potential for more. You see the buy for the defensive side. It's just pistols. They don't have nearly as much firepower on the other side of this.
I want to point out how cautious G2 is on these eco rounds. They're really trying not to get ecoed. It's so important because getting ecoed in a game like this just ruins all momentum, ruins your economy. It is not a good feeling for you in game. And it looks like they're ready for every single piece of aggression that EG has been throwing their way so far.
And it feels like such a testament to Valen and his calling style. You know, there were interviews last week about how it feels like he's just micromanaging every single chess piece on the board. And you see how that discipline, I think that's what that results in. But Superman able to get one onto Valen. I'm not really sure. And they've got it over here. He's gotten a second with the classic. Not able to convert on the third. A little bit of damage has been done, though. Financially, G2 should be in good straits, assuming they can win the round, and that's far from a guarantee. A clean snap out from Trent to get things to a 1v2. Nature trying to isolate the gunfight. 42 HP left. They're both going to hit him at just the right time. Trent gets the third. G2 continue to roll.
Superman finding such an insane timing on that flank, making it costly for G2. But G2 so good with these trades right now.
Yeah. Again, the discipline, that they play so well together. And, you know, again, I want to go back to the conversation we were having with Valen last week about how they have to grind through some of this stuff. And ultimately, in his opinion, it makes the team better. They're better bonded. They're more cohesive in their attempts. And you saw some of that there.
Definitely did. Look, another slow pace round from G2.
Meanwhile, on the side of EG, you've got an op in the hands of Superman. Don't know if there's going to be a challenge early on, as G2 seem to be focused on establishing some control across the middle of the map.
Fought looking to grab this aggro line. Cam spots him. They know that Omen is opting on B now. What is the reaction from G2? Looks like they're going to work up mid. Very smart.
Nature has a fault line here, but he's really kind of on his own. You've got Superman who's joining the fray very quickly. That's an up close. And that's not the right weapon in that situation. You see Leaf trying to satchel back and create some space. He cannot. Ultimately falling, but G2 still with the numbers advantage. The side is entirely open.
So clean from G2. Leaf going up on the box, making Superman have to look at multiple different angles with that op. Almost securing the trade, and the Sobalt coming in as well on contact.
Yeah.
Just to seal the deal. Fatal invested here. I don't know if I agree with this, Doug.
Yeah, it's not going to tag anyone either. But they follow the carpet that has been laid. Derek looking for any target he can find. The dart has been cleared out. No ults on the side of G2 to have to worry about here. That they're going to have to get through the defenses that are posted up back in hand. And so far, they've done just that, unless Jonah P can be the hero once more. Derek's gotten it to half, and that's all it's going to be. Jonah P with 3, G2 gets a 5.
Wow. And Jonah P not missing a beat. Bringing on his momentum from his last series. He was the MVP of that game. And he's looking great right now. Honestly, G2 as a whole, looking really on point.
Yeah, they look really clean.
And look at that.
There's that high angle you were talking about.
And that Sobalt coming up.
One enemy remaining.
Beautiful shots from Jonah P to close out the round.
I'm coming. Wait. Ready?
Honestly,
nice, Jonah.
for a 3v4 retake, it looked good for a little bit from EG. Good utility. Breach C to get the guy from map out. Raise nade to get the guy from the close right cubby out. And I agree with this pause. It's perfect timing. Maybe a little bit of nerves throughout the team.
Yep.
First match on LAN.
And you're down, what, 0-5?
Yeah.
That's good reason to take a break for just a moment and try to settle things. Meanwhile, on the side of G2, I think, again, there were a lot of questions about how they performed last time we saw them on stage and how it was maybe a little rocky. And yeah, Kesnet was a man possessed the last time we saw him on stage. But this G2 squad, I know it's early, but it does seem like they improve map over map. And that's a very confident sign. That's a very good sign if you're a fan of G2.
And you notice that their whole game plan right now is to bait out that breach utility, bait out all the fade utility from Derek.
Yep.
And just work the map really slow. Good reaction. They see that the op is in B main, and then they go up top mid because they know the rotate won't make it there in time. It's great, but really good ults up here for EG.
Yeah, just don't have much guns to work with. So one issue, you've got 3 Stingers, light armor on 4. Superman.
Another trap play this time. Wanting them to be a little bit more committed.
Get him.
I wonder if he's going to try to find a late timing through mid like we saw a couple of rounds ago. There's the paranoia, and Apoth is going very aggressive. The nade over the top. You've got the breach utility that's throwing them all over the place. Now you have the neural theft to consider as well.
That was a great counter flash from Valen to deny that aggro. And there it is. G2 aware that Derek likes to play this elbow area. I think he's played it almost every round so far.
Yeah. Even going all the way back to the pistol.
Great punish.
Getting a really good read on the situation now. Leaf is the only one who's kind of lagging back while EG are sending all of their members through mid.
And how often do you see a solo Raze holding the lurk? Usually the Razes are the entries, but
yeah, they're the ones on site.
This is unpredictable right here.
And the trip is going to give things away.
Yeah.
He doesn't know yet, but Leaf should get a gorgeous timing on this.
And I wonder if G2 is doing this on purpose. They want him to hunt for these kills because he's already close to another showstopper.
Yeah, you're right. He's only 3 points away. He might not get the opportunity, though. It might end up being Net who's going to have to deal with the 3-man pressure waiting on the other side of this wall. There's the trip. The first falls. The flash in the face does it better as he gets a second. Not a ton of time here. Nature's going to upgrade a weapon. That's another round for G2. I mean, this snowball just keeps rolling, man.
Yeah. And when in doubt, spray it out, you know? Full blind there. He's holding mouse one is Net. If I was G2, I would have loved to get an orb on Lee for Trent, who would have had his Viper ult up for this round. Still good. I mean, and the second one.
I don't know how he gets away with that.
There it is.
6 rounds in a row for G2. An opportunity, perhaps, for Evil Geniuses to stifle some of that now. Up in the hands of Superman once more. And as you mentioned in the previous round, Dre, some good ults to work with. Dude, this wall just counters any early eye here.
Yeah, a little bit more aggression here, though, with the Raze being here. They are going to fight this. Giacomo getting first contact.
And getting the first kill, but G2 instantly respond.
Look at the trades.
Nature has to take a step back. You got Superman who's joined commit seal. Remember, he's the one who has the op. As Nature's trying to dance around blind and deaf and not able to hear a thing, having to deal with the nade at his feet, and then having to deal with Leaf 2. Not gonna connect. The shot from Superman is clean though, and he gets away. With the rocket at his feet, somehow stays alive, but even through those heroics, EG find themselves outnumbered and outgunned yet again.
And that's just so tough for Superman there. Knows he has to get another kill to even the players out. He gets punished for it. Jonah P never gonna miss those shots. Not when he's this dialed in.
No. I mean, the start to the season that he's had has been ridiculous. Yeah. They are gonna pick up the op though and get away. Apoth will carry it into the next round. G2 will get to 7. And it really just feels like they're doing whatever they want on this map.
Yeah. And again, punishing that A aggression from EG. And to be fair, EG they have to take control of something when you have this breach comp.
Yeah, for sure.
You cannot just stay stagnant. So I like what they're trying to do. It's just the execution is just not there at the moment. Could be from nerves, could be from, honestly, G2 just being on point right now, trying to prove something.
And they've made quite the statement early on. You see some of that early aggression that you were just talking about, and there's an attempt. You saw Nature's fault line there. Tried
it was a little late.
Yeah, it was just a second late. So the ideas are there, as you were just mentioning, Dre. It's execution. It feels like that's what's lacking. See what they're able to do here. Superman has the op once more. Maybe this will be it. Early Satchel here. He's gonna get aggressive.
Is he gonna rock it? Nice little set play, but look at G2.
Dude,
they're all in spawn.
I mean, they freaking read it.
They're so aware.
They had the suck, they had the rocket, they had everything there.
5 people, and they haven't left T-spawn. And what is that angle from Superman?
Where is he?
I did not even know you could see spawn from here. And Trent still challenging.
Okay.
Even he was confused. Where'd that shot come from?
I think we all were.
Cheeky little set play.
So the op finding some value. It was off of the early aggression. I'd love to see that set play one more time because it seemed like there were a lot of layers to it. It looked like there was the fault line. Yeah, the raised rocket, the suck, everything was there. And then allowing Superman to reposition. And you know, you mentioned it at the beginning. It felt like G2 was prepared.
Yeah.
They were playing back in spawn. They knew something was afoot, and it still finds us in a 3v3.
It's so crazy that EG had an extra layer on top of that. They knew that there was that they're pushing the enemy team all the way back into spawn, and then they have Superman posted up on that top box. I can see deep into spawn when they back up. It was really sick to watch that, and they're cooking with that.
30 seconds left.
Apoth is in a really good position here, but remember, he's just got a stinger. From that distance, well, never mind. The distance works. He's got... Oh, does he commit? He does. Just Net and Jonah P on their own. Jonah P with ult, but really not in a position to do anything with it. 3 HP as he's been battered, he's been beaten, but he's now the last one standing. EG finally find themselves on the board.
Yeah. Momentum. Here we go. EG gonna be hype after winning that round.
It took a lot. I really hope we get to see that set piece again.
Yeah, I really want to see this angle from Superman on their top box because that really set up the end of the round there.
Oh, 1000%.
Look at this angle, man. Oh, we didn't get to see it, but that was sick.
Unlucky.
There it is. Hype coming out from the EG squad. Jogamo smiling. That's dangerous for G2.
There's still
when
long...
you see that man smiling.
Yeah, there's still a long road to recovery here, though.
Yeah.
Still down 6 rounds. You've got a ton of money on the side of G2. A couple of key ults online. They've got a lot of things at their disposal.
And if I'm G2 right here, I'm just trying to get that bomb down, get the Viper ult down. Whatever it takes, I can invest my soul vault into this. Wow.
Little aggressive out from Leaf, trying to punish on the tag.
But across the map, Trent besting Derek again. And that opens up the entire map. All info gathered now. And they're leaving the lurk here.
They might know, though. That nade. Wow. Yeah, he was done. Jonah P had nowhere to go.
Spike planted.
Meanwhile, again, on the other side of the map, the pit has been invested, the spike has been planted. Nature does have a rolling thunder. Valen's in a good spot to potentially hit a late flank. You're gonna have to deal with Apoth's trip. But for now, you imagine EG, given how dry this half has been for them, are gonna invest everything they can to make it happen. The satchel straight into the pit. Jogamo looking to find the prize. Targeted, no! Trent stunned, gets him back. Nature on the trade though, 3v1 now. Net's gonna have to do it on his own. He's gotten it down to a 1v1. The cage, Net, cool, calm, collected, but Apoth is sticking it the whole way. He stops, gets to half. He had it the whole time. Oh, but stops.
Oh no. Net so happy he won the 1v1. He didn't even run out of the bomb range.
I mean, he had the defuse. Had he stuck it, they win the round.
I think that's just a little bit first match nerves coming from the rookie.
Surely we get a replay of that one. Evil Geniuses calls the timeout, and that's going to give us a chance to take a look at this once more. Yeah, this was really nice. The drone tagged the member who was trying to get away out towards Market, and Leaf went out to punish, who's just greeted with an op on the other side. This is nuts. Trent with the pit finding it. And Apoth, man, to have that back.
He was so close. So close on that defuse. And again, I think this is really just nerves from the side of EG. I think they're overthinking. You know, Apoth had it down to right. Second guesses himself at the very last moment.
You know when you're trying to like sneak a defuse though, those last 2 seconds,
it's tough.
It feels like an eternity.
It's tough. He hears him running at him the entire time. It's tough, but he had no time. He had to stick it. Honestly, it was a great trade onto Trent in that Viper ult.
Yeah,
who got unstunned.
Yep.
He could have gotten 3 there easily. So you see it, EG is playing together. They are trying things, but just not coming out on top in these clutch moments. And Superman on this op, he's actually been hitting some nice shots.
Yeah, he has. He's back on the judge now, though. Not going to be a factor here. Perhaps something aggressive. You got Superman playing up very close on the barrier. The smoke to cross. Forget about crossing. He's just going to go in.
And this is so oppressive.
Are they expecting it? 2 fouled. The third falls. Spam on the other side ends up being his demise.
Beautiful from Supa.
I have the spike.
And man, I think I've seen this guy do this play about like 10 times in scrims and it has never failed.
Yeah, you've been on the receiving end of it a few times too.
I was on the receiving end of it, I can confirm, and it was not fun. It's never fun getting killed by the judge.
No.
And then the third through the smoke.
Yeah, that
he's
feels
just spamming
bad.
at that point, you know?
Yeah, that feels bad.
Rubbing dirt on the wound. See if they can bring this back though. A 2v5 would be insane.
I mean, they've got the guns for it. And they're deep behind enemy lines. Apoth is timing. He's going to find everything he could want. The fall line there to drop Jonah P. Net once again left against the world. The dink onto Apoth looking for more. A judge and a sheriff. And that's all it takes. EG punch back.
Nice.
Games are a funny thing.
Nice. And if I'm EG right now, every round matters. It doesn't matter if you're getting blown out.
Oh,
you
for
need
sure.
to win as many as you can just to have something going into the next map. And they're not out of this by any means, don't get me wrong.
Last player standing.
But it does look like that G2 is just on another level. Mechanically,
Nice! Let's go, Derek.
strategically at the moment.
That's the round.
I like that. I like the energy that I'm hearing from EG.
Yeah, feeling a little loose.
Oh. A lot of mid aggro, and Jogamo just sneaks into here, Doug.
I mean, Apoth is close by as well, but they aren't really in a position where they can help each other. Meanwhile, Derek is finding success. You know, he had been picked on a couple of times back there. Superman's finding 2. You mentioned that any round is a good one for Evil Geniuses. This seems like another one.
Superman is just a LAN animal. I've got to see the pleasure of this guy playing in international lands all over the world, China, Brazil, on my team. I know what this guy can bring to the table. He's stepping up big for his team right now. That veteran experience.
We'll see if Net Jonah P
Player
can
standing.
do anything to respond. It's all into Jonah P now. Remember the heroics. Remember the massive moments he's had so far. Potentially the makings of another one, but he doesn't realize they're going to challenge him. Oh, he heard the jump. He knows they're there. But Derek shuts him down.
Derek, too sharp.
Last round.
Great
in the
ults
half.
coming online for EG. 4 ults. Raise Rocket, Fade ult. Omen TP for the quick rotate. Here's the replay. Superman.
Oh, wow.
Perfect timing on that swing.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
That's the Superman we want to see.
Nice.
That's the Superman Eagles geniuses need.
Boys. Let's do.
Doesn't have to be pretty, as long as it works.
Yeah.
Take a look at that. A Nightfall, aggressive early. 2 Prowlers used to try to push them off of that A main control.
Nobody on B at all.
No, but I think the thing is, EG did a really good job of concealing how many people were part of that early trap because they're still thinking there's somebody on B. That's why they invested the showstopper. That's why they're a bit timid and rolling out onto the site to begin with.
What kind of post plant do we see here? We have been seeing G2 playing out quite a bit with Leaf playing in alone.
Yeah.
He gets spotted out here though.
EG still have...
Interesting smoke.
EG still have Jogamo's ult. Right on Q has been used. Leaf's tucked. Leaf's tucked. Oh, but he's gotten into the smoke. How much more can he get away with? Doesn't sound like the rocket found any value, but Jogamo continues to push.
Oh my
2
God.
fall. Valen on the swing out. What a response from EG.
A slow start, but winning back-to-back rounds here. And Jogamo really heating up. That's the job we know from last
Switching
year.
sides.
That's the champion, the spray down.
Dude, him getting into that smoke. You think about it, if he gets popped by Leaf at the very beginning, he doesn't get those 3 kills. And it's an entirely different situation. It does not sound like we're going to get to look at that one more time. We're actually going to throw it down to Sideshow, who's hanging out at the Telestrator to break down a little something.
Thank you very much, Doug. Yeah, this half was kind of defined by a bit of a comeback towards the end there from EG, but also a lot of mistakes at the beginning. So I want to break this one down. It's the round 3 force, and we're taking a look from EG's perspective as Derek tries to hold on to elbow control. And I feel like the beginning rounds, whether it was due to nerves or whether it was due to inexperience, had a lot of moments like this. Derek doesn't anticipate how quickly he's going to get pushed there, and you see Leaf just swing around the corner straight into his face as he's trying to get a seize online. Not anticipating the pace of G2. Let's move over onto round 5. Again, rifles online. This is insanely important this round. It has so much momentum in the series. If you've seen what happened just there, the trip got broken. And again, this is from EG's perspective. They can't see all of the minimap. And so it falls on some of these players to go back and take a look over towards mid. And the protocol is really, really slow. I'll wind it back just so that you can see that trip. Trip gets broken and immediately they're a bit slow, bit tentative. It's the Omen that goes to clear it. Whoa, there's way too many people in their face there. This is the eco round that they tried to run as well, this trap play, where they've got the paranoia coming through, a stun coming through as well. Apoth trying to run onto it and see if he can make the play happen. And you see how far he's got to run to try to make that play work. So overall, EG had a little bit of, I think, nerves and inexperience at the start of this game that were leading to multiple moments where they gave away cheap kills to G2 at the start of rounds. The more that they can tighten that up, the more that they can actually work on making sure that the gaps aren't given away right at the start, they'll have better approaches in these rounds and they'll be able to go toe-to-toe with them. You already saw that towards the end of the half where they were able to pick up, 4 rounds apart from the one where Superman gets a ridiculous kill with the operator earlier on. So that's my focus coming into the next, is those early round fights. I'll send you back over to Doug and Baby Bay.
Many thanks to the mustachioed menace that is Sideshow. Really, he hit all the major points. I think he put it together really well. EG winning 4 of the last 5 rounds to close out the half, keeping this thing competitive because it had all of the makings of getting out of hand.
Yeah, this pistol round's so important.
Going out.
Already leaning towards this A. A little bit of mid control though.
I don't think that dart tagged anyone. There was a dart that hit back A main where 3 members of EG are, and I don't think it tagged anyone because of that one way.
They all had hit in the one way.
Yeah, a little bit of false info, and that should give EG a lot of room to work with A.
And it does look like it. Oh, but EG's second guessing themselves. Now's the timing they need to take.
Unawares of what's waiting on the other side. Meanwhile, it seems like a fight is afoot across mid. Leaf closing the door. Derek understanding there's at least somebody close by. They're putting so much respect into the middle of the map. You got Valen, who's waiting almost by spawn. And you're right, I don't know what it was that EG saw or felt or read, but there's enough hesitation and enough doubt to where they could be very well missing this window they had.
So slow. Derek purposely showing his position in mid to keep people there.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be a post plant versus retake, 5v5. How much value can Derek get in this mid flank?
That much. A 2K.
Couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, answering the question at just the right time. He's being surrounded, a bit overwhelmed as Trent cleans him up.
And he did good damage. Net sitting at 55 HP, Trent armor gone. One-shot headshot range for anybody with a ghost.
Superman, who's had the hot hand, is going to be the first they have to deal with. The
One
paranoia
enemy
and then the smoke
Nature.
nature from over the top cleans up the two of his own. Valen left alone. Time is of the essence. It's not on his side. He's going to have to make moves if he wants to pull this thing off. Dancing around the fault line, but not able to dance around the spam from Apoth.
Just like that, we got a game on our hands, Doug.
They're keeping it close, man. Again, 4 of the last 5 to close out the half. The pistol, all of a sudden, that 0-7 lead
Yep.
that G2 had at the beginning feels like a distant memory.
Nice shots from Derek, heating up. What are those through the smoke, just spamming into CT?
Time
Nature
for a
got
break.
2. Yeah. Potter hype now. What kind of anti-eco are we going to see into this round? Are we going to see some aggro mid? Are they going to wait for aggression from G2?
We had our fair share of thrifties yesterday.
I don't know what it is with teams and just stacking early B on their anti-ecos on this defense side.
Does seem to happen a fair amount. That's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah. EG looks aware, though. Are they going to dog into here or just
Hey,
hold off a contact?
They're just waiting. You imagine there's a pop on the other side of the trip. Superman not phased, Vito. Unreal.
This is not the player you want warming up against you.
No. No, not when he's had the last couple of rounds. He's had a flawless round for EG.
Okay. Okay, Superman.
What's he up to now?
17 and 10.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they are just eco kills, right? Like, he's supposed to win those gunfights.
Sure.
But the momentum that gives you as a player,
Yeah.
man, like, if I'm getting those 3 kills, I'm feeling good going into every single round after this.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And I can take over at that point, so.
A Bucky for Jogamo.
Airplane
no.
Bucky.
What is the plan here? A heavy stack towards B. I mean, everyone is here.
Look, very slow play. First 2 rounds now. EG going for the B pop on this bonus round. Changing the pace. It's the fastest round they've had so far.
That early smoke does such a good job at dissuading some of the early aggression. Leaf there to clean up A-Pots. You've got the dart back sight to confirm that players are out. But they're
Is he
really
running it
pacey
down?
with this. There's the Bucky. Not able to find anything. Leaf keeps him back. Jogamo and Superman were enough to be handled.
down.
And now Derek's left alone. 1 onto the Guardian. Leaf and Valen both weak. I don't know if they're going to be weak enough, though. There's still so much for Derek to deal with. He's got the spike in hand, and again, the discipline out from G2, not giving him any ones, not swinging out recklessly.
And this is Trent just literally yelling in comms. I'm behind. Just wait.
Yeah, I got the time. Can Derek find anything else?
Look at this discipline.
It's so impressive. Not an inch being moved. And that's exactly the right play.
Fundamentals. That's what G2 was talking about. So Valen was saying in his interview. Just because we are a core for such a long time and we already have fundamentals doesn't mean that we're going to shy away from finding new ones.
Wait for me.
And I honestly like the aggression from EG.
Oh, 1,000%.
But the utility was just not there in time.
A-Path contact.
Or it wasn't
You
correct.
stupid.
I saw a breach flash come out, but
Bro, this-
by that time, Superman and Jaw were already dead.
It's too little too late.
Another 5-man here. Opting to take fast elbow control with satchels.
The paranoia on the left side. And you're right, a little bit pacey that way.
But 4 people already here from the likes of G2.
They didn't get the first trip from Ned either, so that's something they're going to have to deal with. The drone re-clearing elbow. It's going to be a little bit of confidence for Trent to at least throw a little shoulder.
I like that G2 isn't scared to take the space after the utility, even though they're aware that EG could be behind it. Hiding. And there's the Omen flash.
Oh, and they're going to swing out behind it. They're going to catch him. Yeah, Superman's done. Very nicely timed. The one problem is they had no control across the middle of the map. Yeah. So Apoth is in their spawn.
Apoth with serious lurk timing, but
There's no way they know.
destroyed.
They can't know.
oh my gosh, there's a world.
Can Leaf and Jonah P do it? They're so separated right now, and there's really no way for Jonah P to get out. He's left on an island. Reinforcements are as far away as they could possibly be. But as the time ticks away, the reinforcements get closer and closer to arriving. Unaware of where he could be, he finds value onto the first, waiting for the challenge onto a second, and it's clean.
Spike down A.
Derek in a clutch situation.
They don't know where he is.
The element of surprise on his side. Jonah P's gonna get cleaned up.
Fatal online.
13 seconds left. The spike's not in hand. He's gonna have to get onto this. He's gonna have to do it quickly. And Derek does. The Red Bull clutch for EG.
And that is all off of APOP. Taking that mid control, as you said. Finding the window. Derek closing out the round.
Reply destroyed.
And what looked like disaster for EG, they end up bringing it back. That pre-fire from Jonah P was sick, but Derek just closing out the clutch. And all momentum
That's my
has
fucking
been shifted. Oh, I heard something there.
It was a cold response too. You gotta remember, I mean, Derek made his name on clutch moments just like that. And it was something that, quite frankly, was lacking the last time we saw him on the stage. So it's good to see him get back into those big moments and be able to execute on them. Still find themselves down 2 rounds, though. For G2, they've got a stinger in the hands of Leaf, but rifles. Other than that, and EG have gotten onto A. APOP is dead.
Very smart from G2 to fully clear flank there, not letting APOP get those shenanigans up mid again. That's a pretty fast adaptation to be made.
They still haven't committed to the plant.
Wow.
It's still in hand. Leaf is causing just enough delay with the ult. Ultimately, it was Valen who cleans it up, but they find the value they're looking for as the spike sits harmlessly on the site. Superman cannot convert. Leaf with 3, and G2 gets a 10.
That was a very heads-up play from G2. Clearing out APOP in mid. They don't want to deal with that mid shenanigan.
Yeah.
And then going for the fast retake this time with Rocket. And Leaf having a great performance right now.
I think you see it here, how much chaos and how much pressure Leaf was able to apply just by his presence. I mean, just the fact that they had the ult, right? He could not commit, Jogmo could not commit to getting the spike down. It bought just enough time for them to flood out, as you were just mentioning. Now EG with a less than stellar buy to work with.
One off a breach ult though, and it looks like they will be picking this up maybe as the hit is coming through after the breach util to have breach ult for the post plant. Free sight again, and the airplane Bucky in full effect.
Remember, he's tried this already. Previously, it was with Superman TPing forward with him. This time does not have that by his side. Net patient with it. The Bucky once again goes down with a whimper. They invest the Rolling Thunder. Wow. They're going to push into this. Look at how far up APOP is. The Stinger's great. Nature gets another one with his own utility. Upgrades the weapon and punishes a third. But Trent on the counter. Nature now left alone. Nothing but a classic in hand. But the spike planted 20 HP.
Only a classic.
It went over him. He's gonna find the timing.
Oh my gosh.
Can Nature get away with murder?
Airplane Bucky.
Upgrades the Bucky, but the knife is out, and that's the wrong weapon there. Unreal.
What a recovery from G2 because of the likes of Trent getting 2 through smoke. And what a great push from EG. I was confused too. I'm like, oh, we're in a 3v5, 3v4. We're committing this ult.
Honestly, as soon as I heard the ult, I was concerned, but then I saw APOP's positioning. He was so far up. The swing was great. And honestly, man, those are, as you know, those are decisions that you make on the fly.
Yep.
That's not a set piece. That's not something you drill. That's, all right, we're pushing, go now. And it worked out great.
I like seeing that from a rookie in the league as well.
Yeah, me too.
APOP being that confident, that alpha to actually just run through, no fear, and create plays like that.
But ultimately, even that was not enough. G2 with the 4-round lead. They have 4 ults to work with. Now you've got an aggressive pit B main right at the beginning. Doesn't seem like EG want to deal with that whatsoever. Oh, he's going fast.
Fast clear this time.
Jogma's there to greet Jonah P, investing the ult. Might get a kill on Superman and does.
How does he find Superman?
Valen does not say, but they've drawn out the Roomba. They've drawn out the nade. And for now, that's what they're going to have to settle with. APOP, once again, he's been a menace.
Look at how far up he is.
Is that going to be
reactive
enough,
again?
Derek, patient with it. The first, not able to convert onto the second. Shot goes just a bit wide. But Jonah P with the possibility to close this round out. If you can deal with Apoth and his late lurk. He does get one. That's 3 on the round for him.
That's a huge kill.
A 2v2 now, and I feel like we find ourselves in this position a lot on Sunset, where members are just scattered across the map. Apoth falls. Net was just waiting, patient with it. He knew it was inevitable.
Very smart. Very, very smart from Net.
There's been a lot of talk about Nature and the potential that he has. Big moment here. Can he pull this thing off? A 1v2. He's got a fault line to play with 25 armor. No other utility to his name. What he does have, though, is the benefit of time. The spike has been taken away for a few moments now.
He knows now, Doug.
I mean, he's got to know. That's got to be enough for G2 to go aggressive with it. Net is at least going to get half. The spam drops. There's the fault line on the swing, but Trent went a little bit aggressive. He's going to stick it! Oh my gosh, Nature goes massive for EG!
So many players on this EG roster have this clutch potential.
That was so close to the defuse.
Yeah. Great heads-up awareness to spam the first guy.
And I think, again, there was so much time that had been burned that Trent really had no option there but to go to try to stick it. And when you've got the fault line, you've got the swing, I mean, the cards were set there, and Trent didn't have a good hand.
And it makes you think. First guy that got on the bomb, he could have defused from safety, but he didn't.
Potentially, yeah. Jogmo continuing to cause problems.
Oh, this room is going to be huge. And Nate!
Those two may be in trouble.
Oh.
Leaf tucking takes a little bit of damage. He's actually getting away with a lot here. I don't know that they invest anything else to clear him. Meanwhile, Apoth with the rocket. Excuse me, Jogmo on to Jonah P. Leaf. They're going to know. Oh, they don't know. It looked like he cleared it for a moment. You're right. Now Net and Leaf left to try to pick up the pieces as Leaf was surrounded. Now Net on his own, just the Sheriff. Snap onto Derek is clean.
Sheesh.
That's the first step of many to go, though.
Apoth has touched their spawn, I think.
Every single round.
Like every round that he hasn't died early.
3 on the round from him. You imagine a timeout maybe coming here soon, because they have not been able to deal with the constant pressure that Apoth has been able to apply.
And you could see that G2 is actively trying to stop this early A pressure, but
yeah,
when you're running this comp against the breach comp, it's just so hard to win that battle. The breach util, fade util is just too strong paired with that raise when you're taking early space.
Oh, it's smothering.
Limits the places that you can play.
And a timeout has been called. See if they can figure out how do they deal with Apoth, how do they deal with the oppressive utility that comes from the fade, that comes from the breach.
And I think if I'm the coach of G2 right now, I'm telling his team, I'm like, listen, what worked was securing mid control, making sure it's all clear. Apoth doesn't get that timing in mid, and then going into the retake. Seems like they already veered off of that. They did great on the eco round.
Yeah, they did.
Close game from what seemed like it was going to be an absolute stomping for the side of G2.
Yeah, bro, that 7-0 start is a distant memory.
So insane.
What are the adjustments on the other side of this timeout? G2 still have a lead, but it feels like they've been white-knuckling their way through these last couple of rounds, just trying to hang on as desperately as they can to close this map out.
I think they need to play more off these trips. Play a little bit more of the retake on the actual site. Don't die early. Don't try to fight for that A space, because you've been losing the fight almost every single time.
Jogmo's already gotten high ground. Their early flash and the satchel across are going to find a little bit of space elbow.
Love this spot from Valen. A nice passive angle here. He can easily cheese the kill onto this lane.
If you get to challenge, yeah.
Here's the adaptation from G2. Take the B main space, push all the way up, secure the info.
Almost has to be like a blanket that's rolling across the site to make sure they've dealt with the late lurk. There was a slight pause, but EG now pushing their way out onto the site.
Smart reaction from EG. They saw the Roomba.
They're so patient with this. Nature's going to have the Rolling Thunder online, which is going to be massive in the post plant now. Valen not able to find a kill, a little bit of spam through the smoke. Has to give the position up.
Oh, no way. This is perfect.
That's going to push them all back. I don't think it caught net, though.
Only got one.
And there's really no way for them to follow up on that. So it's not even about taking the fight to them. It's about just buying time. That's exactly what they've done. You start to see the utility now flood over the side as Jogamo somehow gets two. But net on the trade as Leaf pushes forward, tucked into the smoke. Superman against the world, trying to get a second. Jogamo there too. Valen left by himself, and it's not going to be enough.
What a post plant. And like you said, understanding that breach ult didn't connect on all the players, just using it for the stall, forcing the clock to go down, making G2 have to push through these site smokes that Superman is putting up while he's on top of that default box. Such a hard retake against that comp. And great reactionary play from EG right now. Understanding that G2 pushed B main. Okay, we can take A space now. If anyone's there, there'll be one guy max.
Right.
1 to 2 people max.
Right.
Nobody's there. We know it's retake. Let's set up.
Another light buy for G2. You see the financial implications of how these last couple of rounds have gone.
And the stun is so brutal. It stuns all of lane and elbow.
It's gonna hit.
Look at this.
Just waiting for the camera
Off
to
the
get a little
cam
info.
contact.
Yeah.
G2 can actually see the corner without being seen by the camera, though. Let's see if Apop is aware here. Stun is still out. Will he ask for it? Stun will not be coming out anymore.
Meanwhile, there's a dog that just went out market, catching onto the first. And
that's that off angle I was talking about.
You're absolutely right. I mean,
this showstopper online now.
This setup has been cooking for a long time. There's so many people there. Does he get away with the second? How on earth has Leaf done that?
Great
Nature with
trades.
an excellent response.
Another timing through mid. And this is a huge gap that EG has been abusing.
I mean, they've been making this area of the map
No
their own.
way.
The dink onto net. They just don't have the guns to respond.
This mid area is just
I mean, it's EG's.
so crazy for EG.
They've made it their own. Can Valen pull this off? Does he have an ability to upgrade a weapon? Just has a stinger here. Does not seem to be interested in any other. Paranoia.
What a flash.
It's gonna hit both. He's gonna find it both. He gets the first. He has to switch weapons. Right click, not connecting. Buying some time, nothing but 3 bullets. Tries to grab the weapon and it's just out of reach. Derek with a massive round and we're tied at 11.
Closes it out. And like I said, the reactions from EG are just clinical. They know that they're not holding mid. They're finding all these timings, even with this early first blood from Leaf. And what seemed like a misclick from Superman. Excuse me. I'm cool with him like that. I'm cool with him like that. Yeah. Pulled out his flash on accident.
Yeah.
He did not mean to do that. And they still win the round. Heroics right now from the side of EG.
And it looks like there's a timeout for dramatic effect in case there wasn't enough already.
Yeah. And Josh definitely grilling his team right now. What are you guys doing? We were up 7-0. I'm sure he's not saying that, but trying to keep them in it. You guys are so close to winning these rounds. Just close it out. Play together.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it does feel like the last couple of rounds are the hardest. Right, closing out a map. When you have a big lead, all of a sudden it evaporates. You're feeling the pressure. Like, where have we gone wrong? You imagine that's what a lot of that conversation is right now.
Especially when you're losing 2v3s where you're up numbers.
Yeah.
You really get in your head in those moments. And it feels bad when you lose them because you're thinking in your head the whole time, I should have won that round.
Yeah,
this game would have been over already.
Yep.
All those thoughts going through your mind. And look at the scoreboard for the side of EG. Everyone equal. What was once the Superman show, he's only got 1 kill since that 3K on the bonus round, the anti-eco.
Frags by committee for Evil Geniuses. They find themselves tied up after the disastrous start. And they're in a fight now. Derek has his ult. Apop does too.
I think what you're going to see here is trying to set up Apop to get a lurk kill.
Again.
Get that Cypher ult down.
Yeah.
And then hit a site together as a unit. This Breach comp's so good at that. So good at setting different players up for kills off the fault lines, off the flashes. Derek has an ult in this B split.
I mean, he can be a bully if the utility is used well.
They don't even have to invest the stun.
I know, but the setup was there, right? The dog, if it latches, there's a swing, there's the fault line. It's so oppressive. They invest the Nightfall. It doesn't tag onto anyone, though.
A lot of info gathered from that. Nade ult.
Yeah, that hurts. That nade at his feet leaves him worse for wear. 58 HP, no armor left.
Really important here for EG to maintain this market control. And this is so oppressive.
And really important here for G2 to win this round. They don't have a ton of money. They've kind of got to convert here.
Great utility from G2.
Derek, the first to fall. There's a paranoia coming out from Superman as he tries to scale up. Net, who has not moved an inch, is rewarded for his patience. G2 just wiped the floor with EG there. Apos left alone, and you know he's on a flank somewhere. That's going to give him enough confidence to triple face, hold the defuse. G2 get to map point.
Huge round win there. And that all came off a Leaf and Valen on that retake.
Yeah.
Nading off Jogamo so he couldn't support Derek into market. Omen Flash comes out onto the market guy. Easy kills. Easy, easy kills for them. Look at this retake. Didn't even see the guy, knew he was there, spammed him. And that, actually, you're right, he didn't move an inch that entire round. He sat in that corner, held it down.
With the nade in his lap.
Yeah.
Can G2 put EG away here? They finally break some of the bleeding. Jonah P has his ult online, and it seems like a very similar look defensively to what we saw in the previous round.
And you see the adaptations. No early A fight from the side of G2.
Yeah. Not really interested in it. EG, are they going to try to contact out?
Another B hit.
And it's open once more. Ned is in the exact same position as we saw in the previous round.
A lot of utility used here on this site hit for the likes of EG. Only one flash left, I believe.
He's dead. There's nowhere for him to go. Surely Nate gets one down. He swings out and gets the kill.
I know exactly where you
Cypher all coming out here.
4v3 in favor of EG, and the Spike has been playing it too. They can take a slight step back. The onus is going to be on G2 to reestablish control if they can. Now funneling out, now trying to take some of the space. 2 spits for Trent.
What a shot!
Has already fallen. Derek once again answering the call for EG. Jogama on the swing. No, it's Trent with the filthy flick. Magnetic.
Great molly.
And they
did it land?
I know. It looked like it was just half a pixel short, leaving Jonah P by himself. A 1v3 would be a miracle with time so short. He gets onto the first, but that's all it is.
Unreal.
Overtime on the cards.
Unreal.
Switching sides. Overtime.
And what we thought was nerves in the beginning of the game, that's completely blown over. EG full steam ahead. What a comeback. Such a sick match so far.
It's just map 1.
I think a lot of people out there were kind of counting EG out.
Yeah.
They didn't really understand who's APOC, you know? How good is Supa? Now they truly get to see why they're on this stage.
Let's go.
And the IGL getting hype. Love that from nature.
They're feeling it. They're feeling it here. First round of overtime. G2 on the attacking side. No early space taken from EG other than Jogamo, who's flirting with a little bit of it. But no challenge given. G2 seeming like they want to take some space mid.
Not backing down is Jogamo.
Dude, that fault line, they're doing such a good job of setting up off that fault line. Anytime there's any fight whatsoever, a fault line is there.
Absolutely, and great reaction from G2 here. Understanding there is no fault line up for this market fight. The Omen Flash misses though, and it doesn't matter, Doug.
A-Pop does not. Took a little bit of damage, but walks away with the gunfight win, and now a momentary calmness settles over the map.
Derek very deep in this corner.
Do they clear him? They try.
Great trade.
He still gets his net 10 HP left.
Revealing area.
And once again, the round is thrown into disarray as you're seeing fights across multiple areas of the map. Jonah P cheeky with it, challenging Superman and getting away with it. But A-Pop yet again! Valen left alone, 10 HP, has the spike in hand.
Talk about being there for your teammate, huh?
Apoth has just been nuts these last couple of rounds,
Superman delaying that fight for as long as he could. Apoth getting 3 because of that. 10 HP for Valen here.
Oh, it's so close. Somehow manages to dodge the damage, gets the timing on a Jogamo. 1 kill left. Battle of the IGLs. The mine's going toe-to-toe. Nature's gotten it to half. He's gonna stick it the whole way!
Wow! IGL versus IGL. Nature sticks it.
Switching sides.
No mind games.
Match point.
He's not playing those games with Valen.
No.
Ice in his veins.
I can't believe he got away with that.
And what great play from Apoth being there. Look at this timing.
Headshot.
One enemy remaining.
They're just in time to get the trade.
Yep.
Gets a dink onto Valen as well. He easily could have gotten a collat there. Look at this guy. Rookie game, rookie year, first land, 20 and 18 on Cypher, nevertheless.
Not too shabby. EG have the lead for the first time all map. And maybe not a moment too soon. There's a 1 round away from taking a 1-0 series lead on their debut on this stage.
Look at EG.
And look at G2. Leaf with the opener with the op. Last cannon as he pushes his way forward. Trent seeming like they're not done with this map yet.
Very good adaptations from G2. Getting the op posted onto that market line to deal with any lurk in mid, whether that be Derek or Apoth, who've been mainly there.
And man,
And then
been doing
Trent
a lot.
playing in front of his smoke this time, not playing full retake.
Yep.
Those are overtime plays right there. Great adaptations that they make.
3 seconds on fault line.
But we got 3 of the clutch gods right now playing together. And this, look at this flash off the tap. It's so clean.
It's hit them all,
Player standing.
but it's still not
Spike
enough.
planted.
Nature was able to pull off that 1v1 before, but a 1v4?
This is very hard.
This is borderline impossible. Potentially the makings of a miracle, but it's not even really planted in a position that he can do much with.
Great reaction from Jonah P, turning that flash, getting 2 on that CT push.
Switching sides.
And that's why he's called the Professor, Doug.
Overtime.
Is he?
I think that's what the P stands for.
Did you just make that up?
I don't think so, man. He's schooling these kids in the server. We've seen it. All from this first blood. Later. That's a huge kill.
Oh, it's massive.
That's the first time we've seen Leaf off on this map as well in this series.
To bust that out in OT
Perfect timing.
is just
Look at
bold.
Superman with a judge. Oh no, we've seen this before.
Remember, it was 3 kills he got, almost in this exact same place with the judge.
And you know what? Something crucial. He's not smoking it this time on purpose.
There's no way that nobody would expect that. You wouldn't
Wants
expect them
them
here.
Yeah, he
Yep.
wants them to walk in. Let's see though if G2 still decide to use utility to clear this close left corner. Oh, and this is
Patient with it. The crosshair there. And the shells cause problems. He's got a TP, or is he going to stay and take the fight? Tries to get out, and he does so just in the nick of time. 30 HP, and he gets away with murder.
Isn't that crazy? And that's why EG picked up Superman on this Omen roll. So aggressive. So sneaky, he gets out.
Dude, most players, they get out after their first. He stays, somehow gets away. I don't know how he's done it.
Looks like EG overthinking it a little bit here. No info on the A side of the map.
Or anywhere on the map, really. G2 have cut noise.
Yeah, and this Viper util. This
30
is
seconds left.
why the Viper is chosen by G2. They're able to feint this A pressure with that wall and orb up.
But Jogamo not falling for it.
Early
See the
fault line.
spit come out. The flick onto Ned is gorgeous. You got the dart. They're going to have to try to deal with Jogamo satcheling back. 70 HP. Jonah P waiting on the other side of the pillar as he continues to swing out. Continues to take the fight their way. EG take the lead back.
Full control of that round from start to finish.
Switching sides. Match point.
G2 missing their timing there. Waiting a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Nature able to get his fault line back up and rotate there in time to B site.
Well, and Jogamo never left either. It was,
Yeah,
it was
what a
perfect.
shot. And when he's doing stuff like this with satchels, you know he's on point.
10.
Look at that util, man.
Backside.
Fucking go.
Y'all heard nothing, all right? He didn't say anything.
Let's flip and go.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly show here.
Love the excitement. Love the energy from this EG squad.
And you can feel the tension of the moment as they enter what is now going to be potentially the last round of this double OT affair so far. Both teams have called a timeout.
Yeah.
So we have a few moments to kind of break down how we've gotten to this point. For EG, I was talking to Derek before the show started, and I was honest with him. I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. There are a lot of people who are saying this EG roster is better than people realize.
Yep.
He kind of smirked a little bit and goes, I mean, we'll see. They look good.
They are good. Great fundamental plays. Potter putting in the systems required for them to do great, setting them up for success. And the players just having to apply it. And they look like brothers out there. They look very comfortable with each other. Looks like everyone's having a good time. They all have the same mindset. And a lot of pressure on G2 because, I mean, they are supposed to be the favorites in this series.
Sure. I mean, it is really tough to say when you haven't seen a team on the stage, right? We could guess with EG
on
what
paper
might happen. But yeah, on paper. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I will say, too, as we think about G2 and kind of their DNA going all the way back, this core that has been together for a long time, the wins that they put together are usually a little messy and a little scrappy, and they have to earn them. And, again, Valen was talking about this last week during his interview. That's what kind of makes up this team. That's what adds a little bit of grit to them.
Resilience.
Yeah, we'll see if they can navigate this well.
So intense. What a game. Double OT already. But EG in the driver's seat. Another op-up from Leaf. Let's see if EG is aware this time.
Remember, he was the one who controlled the middle of the map in the previous round. Or in the previous round, he had the op, was able to apply some of that pressure, take care of, I believe it was Apoth.
You know what's so insane to me?
Tell me.
Is that EG has done this A default, I think, almost every single round besides, like, bonus round. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, they don't get the info on the op.
Oh my gosh!
What an entry from Ja! The awareness! He read right into that, Doug.
They had no idea he was there. That was purely reactionary.
He read right into that. Understanding somebody else broke that dog. There could be a guy there.
What an opener for EG. Can G2 respond? Still a bit separated. 3 members A, though. And they're only getting closer together.
And look, that kill allows Apoth to start his shenanigans in mid again.
And that's why you see Net so far back. Look at his positioning.
He's waiting for the top mid.
You've got the cam market. The trip has been cleared.
Wow.
And is that enough to elicit a response?
Getting so much info here. He's just a human drone at this point.
I mean, Apoth is taking away every single layer to this passive defense that they had. They clear the trip, they clear the cam, and they call the rotate over to B. But G2's hot to trot on it as well. It's just Net who's here so far, but reinforcements are not too distant. Can he hold the line by himself? The one way to spam through. The suck nade not going to connect on it as Apoth tries to get the first. He does. They've seemed to have held the line. Valen and Joe Napie left alone, and they will not stand. EG take down G2 15-13 on their debut.
What a game, what a map. On G2's map pick as well.
What a fight.
Wow. Jogamo turning up. He was relatively quiet all game. Superman stepping up in the beginning. Jogamo and Apoth. The whole squad closing it out.
I mean, it really was. It really was a whole team effort. I mean, everybody, you mentioned it a couple of rounds ago, they were all fragging together. That was exactly what they needed to clutch back this round. This map win is just so impressive.
Not a lot of people know this, but that last round was all because of Apoth. He's 100% telling his team, come B, come B, come B. And instantly you saw on the minimap they came, nobody for G2 was there.
15-13 in favor of Evil Geniuses. Map 2 on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
Red Bull gives you wings.